So, the New York Post had reported, of course, that Donald Trump took Elon's side in the H1B visa brouhaha that erupted on Twitter over the Christmas holiday week. But now we get to hear from him firsthand. So, this was at the New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago. Reporters caught up to Trump and asked him why the change of heart on H1B visas.
Why'd you change your mind on H1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind. I've always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have jobs like we've never had before.
But sir, you said you changed your position. You plan to go to the Carter.
We need a lot of people coming in. The music was a little loud. They should have captioned this. I don't know if you heard that.
Coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have
We need a lot of people coming in.
But sir,
I've been saying that.
Under sleepy Joe Biden, immigration has been far too restrictive.
Yes.
They haven't been bringing in enough workers to our great country. We have so many jobs going unfilled. I'm going to throw open the floodgates on January 20th.
Yeah, I've been saying this all along. I've been saying there aren't nearly enough immigrants in our great country. We don't have nearly enough people coming in. I've been saying this the whole time.
That's what people voted for.
I've been saying there aren't enough boys and girls high school sports. I've been saying that, too, that we really need to start integrating the gender sports at the high school level. I've been saying that. I've been saying we really need to socialize our healthcare system. I've been saying that.
I'm a very big fan of trans fats. We need more trans fats in the
Yeah,
food.
but seed oil, came to my attention recently.
seed
A
oil?
lot of seed oil in the McDonald's French fries.
Somebody
we don't
showed
wanna
me a
change
chart.
everything.
1975 seed oils are up here. Now they're down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Wages go down with the seed oils.
So Midas Touch came up with a couple of receipts here to show that indeed he has changed his mind on this issue. Here's a very brief exhibit of that.
Nobody knows the system better than me. I know the H1B. I know the H2B. Nobody knows it better than me. I know the H1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers.
As we speak, we're finalizing H1B regulations so that no American worker is replaced ever again. H1Bs should be used for top, highly paid talent to create American jobs, not as inexpensive labor program to destroy American jobs.
why'd you change your mind on H1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind. I've always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have jobs like we've never had before.
But sir, you said you changed your.
We need very competent people. We need smart people, and
We
we're
need
going to
the
have
best
jobs
people.
like we never had before. Seems pretty uncomfortable answering that question. He is a savvier bullshit artist than a lot of people give him credit for. Although by now, I think it is pretty well established that he's probably among the most successful bullshitters ever, since he was able to bullshit his way to the presidency twice. And, if you see there, we need a lot of competent people. We need smart people coming in. He's trying to have it both ways. Yeah, this is an elite visa program, but not really. He seems very uncomfortable answering that question. And I think the reason he's uncomfortable answering that question is because, as we've said for the past couple of weeks now, it's not his country. It's Elon's country. It's Elon Musk's country.
Yep.
Elon completely bent him to his will on this issue. And what makes it especially awkward on New Year's Eve is that Elon was in the house. He was in the house at the party while he was answering those questions. Now, I would love to play you the music of this because this was to the YMCA. The Village People actually showed up and played the YMCA.
You're kidding me.
But no, they were actually there at Mar-a-Lago.
They're
and
not
that's what
dead?
that's what they're dancing to here. I don't know if it's the original lineup. but,
it must
you know,
be, yeah.
They must have new members.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were there at Mar-a-Lago playing the YMCA. Now, we can't play the YMCA for you because that's copyright protected, but you know what we do in that case. And I think this works pretty well. Now look at Elon decided to get up and start dancing because he sees Trump dancing.
money to people with no rhythm.
Right.
Is that like a rule?
Yeah.
Or does the money make you lose your rhythm? Do you have rhythm until you get the money? Or do you get the money because you have no
Because
rhythm?
you have no rhythm. That's a good existential question. That's a good philosophical
the eternal
question.
That goes all the way back to Sophocles.
That's right. The eternal question, in fact. Yes. So, kind of awkward for Donald Trump. He had asked that question with Elon breathing right down his neck in the house at the party. But to supplement this, there was the interesting and kind of funny New York Times piece that came out a couple of days ago, which says Elon has he has been living on the grounds at Mar-a-Lago since the first week of November. How Elon Musk has planted himself almost literally at Trump's doorstep. For much of the period since Election Day, the billionaire has been staying at a $2,000 a night cottage at Mar-a-Lago, giving him easy access to the president-elect. Elon Musk plays many roles with President-elect Donald J. Trump. He is Mr. Trump's most important donor, most influential social media promoter, and a key advisor on policy and personnel. For most of the time since Election Day, he has also been Mr. Trump's tenant. Mr. Musk
is making him pay?
Well,
he doesn't get it on the arm?
They don't know yet. They don't apparently, according to the article, which we'll get to, Trump doesn't invoice people until after their stay. So it's still up in the air whether he's going to charge them or not. Mr. Musk has been using one of the cottages available for rent on Mr. Trump's property at Mar-a-Lago, the former Marjorie Merriweather Post home in Florida that Mr. Trump converted into a members-only club and hotel in the 90s, according to two people with knowledge of the arrangement. The cottage where he has been staying, named Banyan, is several hundred feet away from the main house, according to a person who knows the property. Staying right on the grounds has helped provide Mr. Musk with easy access to Mr. Trump. He can drop in on Mr. Trump's dinners, such as the one he had recently with Mr. Musk's rival, the Amazon founder Jeff Bezos.
I told him you have to start staying in a cabin further away. That grinds. I never heard noises like that come out of a person or an animal.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. Need to soundproof that villa out there. Mr. Musk, who spent more than $250 million in the final months of this year's election cycle to help elect Mr. Trump, has attended personnel meetings in the Mar-a-Lago tea house, sat in on phone calls with foreign leaders, and spent hours with Mr. Trump in his office. Mr. Musk's employees from his various businesses have also been integrally involved in the transition, vetting prospective candidates for senior administration jobs in interviews at the Trump Transition headquarters in West Palm Beach. Mr. Musk is not the only member of the president-elect's inner circle who has been bunking on Mr. Trump's property. Vice President-elect J.D. Vance has stayed in one of the cottages at Mar-a-Lago when he has been in Palm Beach and has been there frequently during the transition, according to a person with knowledge of his stays. And others are said to have used cottages since Election Day, but few have been as omnipresent as Mr. Musk. Mr. Trump has bragged to people that Musk, the world's richest man, is, quote, renting one of the residential spaces at Mar-a-Lago. It's unclear how much Mr. Musk will ultimately end up paying for the cottage, which historically has rented for at least $2,000 a night, according to a person with knowledge of the fees. Officials at the club do not typically bill guests until the end of their stay, leaving open the possibility that Mr. Trump will choose not to charge Mr. Musk or to reduce the size of his bill. But Mr. Trump is not known to shy away from income opportunities. If anything, he'll charge him more. Okay, so your bill is $300 million. Yes,
it's a contribution.
You not only had access to the house, but you had access to my office, round the clock access to the kitchen and to the office and the golf course.
It also says here that you used the minibar. You should know better than that. How'd you get rich using the minibar? We always charge way up on the minibar stuff.
Minibar is $80,000 a day. You know that. Come on, Elon. You know that.
And you drank the vodka.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. This will be their falling out. He'll overcharge us for the stay, and they'll have a big blow up. Yeah. Mr. Musk moved into the cottage around Election Day and watched the returns at Mar-a-Lago with Mr. Trump. He left. Why do they keep calling him Mr. and Mr.? Just Musk Trump. Why does the New York Times does this? Mr. this, Mr. that. Just use their last names. He left the property around Christmas and has been expected to return in the coming days. Mr. Musk is known around the club to make requests like meals outside the normal kitchen hours. See, they could charge you extra for that. Trump is not going to let that go without an upcharge. Then it's going to be
read your contract. That's a $6
convenience
million steak you ate, my friend.
that's $1 million convenience fee per day to have 24/7 kitchen access. Okay, you don't just come into my property and start requesting chicken dinners at 11:30 at night. While staying in Mar-a-Lago, he has been accompanied by at least 2 of his children. Mr. Musk has at least 11. Damn, Jesus Christ. And their nannies. One of the mothers of his children, Siobhan Zillis, who worked for Mr. Musk at his brain implant company Neuralink, has also been photographed at Mar-a-Lago after the election. On Friday, in a post on Truth Social...
Could you just bend over after you do the numbers?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I need to pop out another one.
I need another one.
Populate the planet.
Make it 12, exactly. Yes, really sticking it to the New World Order.
Yeah.
On Friday, in a post on Truth Social that seemed intended as a private communication to Mr. Musk, Mr. Trump wrote, now this is an interesting interpretation of this. I didn't take it that way, but now that they mention it, it kind of does seem like maybe he meant to write this as a text or a DM and didn't realize he was typing it in Truth Social. Where are you? When are you coming to the center of the universe, Mar-a-Lago? Bill Gates asked to come tonight. We miss you and X. New Year's Eve is going to be amazing. DJT. Yeah, that seems like it was maybe meant to send as a private communication. It does. I mean, I never even thought of that until I read it. But yeah, it doesn't read like an announcement. It reads like a text to Elon. Hey,
yeah,
you haven't been around. I miss you, Elon. Where you been, Elon? New Year's Eve's going to be off the hook, Elon. Some of Trump's advisors have privately griped about how much influence Mr. Musk has had on the transition and how inseparable he is from the president-elect. Mr. Musk is unlikely to have such unfettered physical access to Mr. Trump after the president-elect is sworn in on January 20th in Washington.
That's what they think.
Yeah, that's what they think. Right, exactly. Coming and going in the West Wing is more onerous than at Mr. Trump's private clubs, as is access to the White House residence. Still, Mr. Trump has often liked to collect people and has enjoyed knowing that many of them pay for access to him. Since he first took office, people seeking to curry favor with him or to get FaceTime with him have joined his clubs, rented ballrooms at his properties, or stayed in his hotels. Mr. Trump is said to have increased the initial membership fee at Mar-a-Lago to $1 million. There you go, cashing in. So you have a picture here that, confirms what we've been thinking this past month, which is, yeah, I mean, Elon has basically attached himself to Donald Trump. And of course, that explains his reversal on H1B visas. You could see it in his voice that he wasn't comfortable answering that question. You can see, I mean, look, this was a very sheepish answer.
Why'd you change your mind on H1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind. I've always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country.
We need competent, smart people.
We need smart people coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have jobs like we've never had before.
But sir, you said you changed your position. You plan to go to the Carter funeral next?
Yeah, that is the influence of Elon Musk. And you have now, I mean, look, they talk about Donald Trump selling access through Mar-a-Lago, Hillary Clinton, when she was Secretary of State, I believe it was 40% of the meetings she took as Secretary of State were from donors to the Clinton Foundation.
That is exactly what I was just thinking about.
Yeah, so Donald Trump's not breaking any new ground, whoring himself out, using the power of the governments, to enrich himself in the private sector. Obviously, that is as American as apple pie by this time. But when the richest man moves onto your property, the richest man in the world moves onto your property, rents your guest house essentially for $2,000 a night plus whatever the minibar tab is, and orders Congress around via tweets and breaks the president on his signature issue, it has reached a comical length. It has reached a cartoonish extreme where Capital has now very, very officially, I would say, out in the open, just swallowed the state to the point where we just assume now that what Elon Musk says goes. I mean, it really is the capture of the presidency by not only the richest man in the world, the richest man in the history of the world by leaps and bounds, $400 billion. He's got almost $200 billion on the second richest man, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, last I checked, was at $234 billion. So it has just reached absurd lengths. And if this is not idiocracy meets end stage capitalism, I don't know what it is.
This is where the idea that electing Donald Trump was some kind of a defeat of the deep state, a defeat of power, and a triumph for the people is really just sad. And you're still seeing some people trying to say, well, we're having a debate in MAGA about H1B visas. That's healthy. You see, that would never happen with the Democrats. Now, you're right about that part. You're right about that part, that the Democrats would never push back on Obama or somebody in this way, right as they're ascending to power. You're right about that. What you're wrong about is that your leaders have any fucks to give about what you think. That's the part where you're wrong. Right. Don't tell me about how they didn't pick Pompeo, so they pick Rubio. These people are interchangeable. That's an easy win for them. It lets the peasants think they got something. Look, we got them not to pick Pompeo. You got the same policies. You got the same basic people. You didn't actually change anything structural. You just changed whose name goes on the door. That's not change. H-1B visas. You're messing with the money. You're messing with the money. You're messing with the real stuff. They're not going to let you do that. Look at what Donald just said. He knows you're mad. He knows you're mad. What did he say? Yeah, no, I always thought this. That's what he said. The fix is in, man. They don't care about you. They never cared about you. They used your anger. They used your resentment in order for one part of the ruling class to triumph over the other.
Right.
That's all this is. This is about who gets the spoils of late stage capitalism. And either way, it ain't going to be you.
Exactly. It's the red meat billionaire class versus the tofurkey billionaire class. And this was a power grab by the red meat eaters. Right. And that's all it is. And, you know, I understand that to a lot of people, it's kind of fun to root for the billionaire class that has a more renegade aesthetic about it, right? It's fun. It's TV. It's fiction. Right. It's a cartoon. It's not. Right. It's not real. The New York Times prints there. Elon Musk has round the clock access to Trump and uses it to crash dinners between Trump and his rival Jeff Bezos. They're not really rivals. They're rivals in a very superficial sense. They are class allies, and they are our class rivals. We're the rivals with them. They're not rivals
Jeff,
with each other.
I was going to go over to my Neuralink offices and torture a monkey later. You want to join?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Just got to give my girlfriend her injection up in her tits first. But you could see even in that piece there where he says we're going to have so many jobs to go around. He doesn't think that. He doesn't believe that. Out of the other side of his mouth, he's warning about a depression.
Right.
He's saying there's going to be a crash
Elon
next year.
said that 2 weeks before the election.
That. Right. So they're just.
There's going to be economic chaos and pain.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I won't even say they're squirming. They're not so much squirming as they're just wincing through it. He's a lame duck. This is part of the issue with electing a president who can't run again. Is that what are you going to do now? Like, he doesn't have a campaign.
What does he have to
run.
lose?
You think Donald Trump really gives a shit if J.D. Vance wins? Like, he'll tank the party if he has to. Like, it doesn't really matter. God bless. He is being ordered around now. It's very, very obvious. It's extremely obvious. The guy's lived on the property for 2 months now.
Donald Trump went on a stage and minced around talking about how quickly he got things done for Sheldon Adelson while Miriam had to calm him down because he was being yelled at by Sheldon Adelson. He's bragging about this.
Right.
Miriam would say, calm down, calm down. I got to Golden Heights in about 15 minutes. What on earth made you think this guy is some kind of a man? Right. What made you think this was a man? What kind of man goes on stage to brag about how quickly he got things done for Zionist donors who were yelling at him?
Right.
Like that's a that's a good thing. Look how fast I did the will of my Zionist donors. Why did you think this was a man, that you elected a man? Why did you think this was the kind of person who's going to say, fuck you, Elon? Of course it isn't. I mean, he doesn't say that to the Adelsons. You think he's going to say that to somebody who's got enough money to buy 10 Adelsons?
Exactly. Now you have to wait and see what happens when Elon disputes the minibar bill. That might push
that might be it.
That might bring out the
he might find his testes there
in him. Yeah, exactly. That'll bring out the queens in him. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see about that.
Please clap.